As the conflict against Moro grows more and more dangerous with each passing chapter in the Dragon Ball Super manga, the possibility of our heroes claiming victory has dropped drastically. If the Planet Eater continues to become more of an unstoppable threat, could we possibly see a specific angel disobey the law of the angels and step in to finally defeat this monster? Let's talk about it. How's it going, everyone? InnovativeJdawg here, back with another Dragon Ball discussion. Today I wanted to do something a bit special and expand upon some speculations I shared during my review of Chapter 60 for the Dragon Ball Super manga. If you haven't checked out my review for that chapter, I highly recommend you go read the chapter and watch that review first before continuing on with this video. I will be talking about manga spoilers for Chapter 60 and Chapter 61 beyond this point, so you have been warned. For those of you who have read the chapter, during my review of Chapter 60 after I quickly touched on the conversation between Whis and Merus that took place about halfway through the chapter, I had brought up a theory that many people are supporting within the DB community. This theory in question is a rather straightforward one and focuses on the angel trainee Merus, the former elite patrolman of the Galactic Patrol, potentially disobeying the law of the angels and being the one to finally put down Moro. On its own, this is a nice little theory and is definitely a possibility for the outcome of the Moro arc, but it isn't an outcome that I personally want to see. However, after catching up with the manga and talking about it with a friend of mine, a random idea similar to the Merus theory popped up in my head, and I just had to talk about it in a discussion video. What if, instead of Merus being the one to step in and defeat Moro, it's actually Whis who disobeys the law of the angels and helps the Z-Fighters take down the Planet Eater? In today's video, I'm going to theorize the potential of Whis going against his own race's law, a belief that he constantly preached to Merus ever since the character was revealed to be an angel, and what could potentially happen moving forward if this were the outcome of this arc. To begin theorizing though, we first have to understand what exactly the Law of the Angels is, and at this point in the series, we don't really know much about it in great detail, but what we do know about Angel Law is the basic bare bones of what it's supposed to represent, and that is that angels aren't allowed to intervene with the natural flow of the universe, albeit with a few exceptions. Throughout the series, angels are also referred to as guides, and most notably with Whis and Vados, we see angels serving as these guides to the gods of their respective universes. Serving as the attendants to the god of destruction, the job of the angel is to help keep their respective gods in check by influencing them to do their own duties correctly. That duty is maintaining a respectable mortal level of the entire universe so it doesn't fall short of the Omni King's expectations. Angels are not supposed to influence creation nor destruction, and their duty is simply to remain neutral within the cycle of the universe, so that is why we only ever see them motivate their respective gods to take action, and not how to take action. Secondly, with the idea that angels must remain neutral and mustn't ever intervene with the flow of the universe, it's important to know that they aren't allowed to partake in fighting outside of training, which we've seen Whis indulge in with Goku and Vegeta, two mere mortals, as his students. This is why we haven't ever seen Whis in a full-on fight against anyone, even when directly targeted by a powerful entity such as Broly, and sadly, the Law of the Angels will most likely prohibit us from seeing Whis fight at full power anytime soon. That is, unless if Whis decides to finally break Angel Law, a code that he's vowed to serve time and time again. Now, you may be thinking, it would be entirely against the character of Whis for him to suddenly pull a 180 and break the Law of the Angels in order to save Goku and his friends from Moro. You may be thinking that it wouldn't make sense for Whis to go against the Angel Law that he's constantly brought up throughout this arc and is seemingly followed throughout Dragon Ball Super. But I'm sure that we can all agree that it would be a massively unexpected twist for Whis to go against everything he's believed in just to save a couple of mortals that he internally considers his friends. Besides, would it be entirely out of character for Whis to break the Law of the Angels? To fully understand Whis' motivation for the sake of this what if, it's best to look back over the course of his relatively subtle character development throughout the course of Dragon Ball Super. While his development hasn't been as vocal and upfront as Beerus' character development ever since their debut in Battle of Gods, it's no secret that Whis has taken a liking to Goku and his friends with each passing conflict. Initially, the only mortal that caught Whis' intrigue was Goku after having obtained the Super Saiyan God transformation needed to face off against Beerus. Because he recognized Goku's potential, Whis was drawn to Goku and several times recommends the God of Destruction position to him once Beerus kicks the bucket. The reason for this is because angels are only meant to be active when there is a God of Destruction present. If there is no God there for them to guide, angels don't have a purpose and thus cease to function until a new God pops up. Whis is fully aware of this and saw a way to avoid his potential stasis by grooming Goku into becoming the next God of Destruction. And we all know that once you associate yourself with Goku, you become part of his extensive friend group, whether intentional or not. At face value, one could say that Whis only interacts with the remainder of Goku's friend group in order to receive the delicacy of Earth's food, which is the major reason why he interacts with Bulma and even agrees to train Vegeta in the first place. Once Resurrection F rolls around, we see Whis becoming more comfortable with Goku and his friends, training two warriors who could potentially replace Beerus once his time comes, and he even gets to snack on Earth's delicious food from time to time thanks to Bulma. At this point, Whis is simply indulging in everything around him. He's not directly breaking angel law by training two mortals, because he doesn't directly influence them to act on the side of good or evil. He's simply there for the intent of grooming two potential gods of destruction. However, when Frieza is revived and is confronted by Goku and Vegeta, who reveal the Super Saiyan Blue forms they achieved through Whis' training, the battle ultimately ends with Frieza blowing the entire planet into smithereens. Prior to Frieza's arrival, Whis had criticized both Goku and Vegeta on their fighting methods, stating that Goku was too laid back and often let things slip past his attention, while Vegeta was too tense during his fighting and needed to cut back a bit more. Following Frieza's Earth destruction, Whis took advantage of this potential training moment and offered Goku the chance to go back and right his wrongs by destroying Frieza when he had the chance. One could argue that by using Temporal Do-Over to reverse time by 3 minutes, Whis was breaking angel law since he was intervening with the outcome of Earth and was helping mortals during a conflict. But there's also the loophole that he was utilizing this as a guiding moment and was leaving the outcome entirely in Goku's hands. Whether Goku would mess up again or not was entirely up to the mortal and not the angel. This in itself could be the main topic of a debate video, but the major focus here is that Whis was willing to perform Temporal Do-Over for Goku in the first place. He could have simply ignored Earth's destruction and consider it part of the natural order, but he didn't. Beyond this moment, Whis would return to his regular angelic duties, and alongside Beerus would continue to pop up more often, with Goku's friend group becoming more comfortable around them as time went on. Throughout the Universe 6 tournament and the conflict against Goku Black, Whis stepped out of the limelight that he was in during Resurrection F, and remained neutral behind all of Beerus' actions throughout these two arcs. When the Tournament of Power popped up, Whis, much like a large chunk of the cast, was restricted as a spectator, so outside of dialogue he didn't have as many important things to do that stood out. However, with the revelation of Goku tapping into Ultra Instinct and its mastered variation, you can see the pride that Whis takes when he witnesses his student, a mere mortal, tapping into and for a short period, mastering a power that none of the gods of destruction had been capable of doing. Then of course you have the Broly and Moro arcs where both Beerus and Whis have been practically non-existent outside of a few key scenes. During the Broly movie, Beerus is chosen to be the babysitter of Bulma, while Whis surprisingly leaves his side to travel alongside Goku, Bulma, and Vegeta to locate the last Dragon Ball so Frieza soldiers can't take it. The decision for Whis to travel alongside these three and potentially get into trouble rather than stay back with Beerus is integral to showcasing how far Whis has come as a character. It's no secret that throughout the time he spent with them throughout these past few arcs, he enjoys the company of these mortals, and with each passing day, it seems as though he and Beerus are actively trying to become friends with them as opposed to simple colleagues. The only thing that's holding them back, however, is the Law of the Angels. Now this finally brings us to the Moro arc, where all we've seen of Whis is his concern over the angel trainee Merus and his potential in breaking angel law. Every time we've seen Whis ever since Merus was revealed to be an angel, he's non-stop been talking about the Law of the Angels and how Merus mustn't break it even despite him wanting to help in the takedown of Moro. With all of this talk about the Law of the Angels and this looming possibility that Merus is going to break it, what if it turns out Whis was only bringing this up to protect Merus so he himself could break angel law and step in to save Goku? Like I mentioned earlier, it would be a massively unexpected twist for Whis to become the one to break angel law and be the one to take down Moro, because at this point, we don't know much about his character outside of face value. Having Whis defy everything he's believed in just for the sake of the friendship he found within these mortals, it would finally solve the mystery of Whis' true character and could confirm everything I mentioned previously about his development. Whis breaking Angel Law wouldn't be out of character because we know so little about his character at this point that it would be a huge step in the right direction to give us some more depth to his thought process and how he's been affected by these mortals despite being told not to get involved with them. Perhaps another reason as to why Whis would decide to break Angel Law could be focused entirely on Merus and how everyone is expecting him to be the one to break it first. I could see Whis being influenced by Goku's kind-hearted actions throughout his time of knowing him, and thus he would want to divert attention away from Merus and take the fall for him to prove how treacherous it is to break this law. This in itself could open up plenty of potential storytelling elements, such as Whis being erased by Zeno and Merus being forced to step up as Beerus' new attendant, or we could see some leniency on both Beerus and Whis since they're tied to the same universe as Goku, who Zeno sees as a friend. It would be really interesting if Whis and Beerus became rogue deities and were spared because of their connection to Goku, and this could even allow them to become more acquainted with the regular cast if they were relieved of their duties. Regardless, I'd love to hear all of your thoughts on the possibility of Whis breaking the law of the angels and being the one to defeat Moro. It isn't personally what I want to see from the finale of this arc, but I can see a lot of potential for the character of Whis and the future of Dragon Ball if it were to come about. With that being said, what do you think would happen to Whis if he were to actually go through with this? Would he be erased by Zeno without a second thought, or would he be spared thanks to Zeno taking a liking to Goku? Would you want to see Whis remain the Angel of Universe 7, or do you think we'll see Merus take the torch one day? Leave all your thoughts down in the comments below and let's have a discussion. Just remember to be civil to not just me, but to everyone else in the comments. This is just a speculation video, and a very loose theory at that, so if you don't agree with anything I talked about, that's perfectly fine, just be nice about it. If you enjoyed this theory though and want to see more, please give this video a like by hitting that thumbs up button, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you shared this with all of your friends who love the Dragon Ball franchise. I really want my channel to grow so I can keep doing this for you guys. I highly recommend that you subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of the future content that I have in store for you, as I have plenty more Dragon Ball discussions, what ifs, and theories such as this that I want to keep making. Until my next video though, I hope you all enjoyed this discussion, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see all of you later. See ya!